Good evening and a warm welcome to beautiful Jonkoping, Sweden. As the sun has set, people find themselves moving indoors to stay warm. Either it be in front of a fireplace or indoors to practice their favourite sport. And of course our favourite sport will be that of curling as we enter the Jonkoping Curling Hall for the third leg of the Curling World Cup. Sweden will play Russia in the women's game session 15. My name is Sander Ulvåg and I'm joined by Olympic champion Rona Howie. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Sander.
Well, let's meet the teams for Sweden. At lead we have Sofia Malbags. Throwing second stone is Agnes Nockenhauer. At third, Sara McManus. And Team Sweden will be skipped by Anna Hasselborg. Team Russia, we have Yulia Guizeva at lead. Yulia Porchunova at second. Third and vice is Margarita Fomina. And team skip Anna Sidorova. Team's quite ready to get the party started here, the last session. As we see the women's standings and how it stacks up before this game, Sweden on top with 12 points, Russia to follow with 11. So essentially the winner of this game will be in the final tomorrow. Huge playoff implications. And these are the points.
If they win the round-robin game, it's 3 points. If they win it on the shootout, it's 2, and lose it on the shootout, it's 1. Win the event final, you get a bonus 10, or runner-up gets 5.
So the other games out there this evening in the men's game, 4 men's games out there. Norway playing China, USA taking on Switzerland, Sweden will play Japan, also Canada play Scotland. But our attention will remain with the women. Sweden, Russia at a 4-1 record. We'll battle this out in the last group session. So of course the points, important to qualify for the final tomorrow. But also the money, and also maybe to qualify for the grand final in May. 5-stone free guard zone is what we play with. Scheduled for 8 ends of play. If we're tied after that, we'll go to a shootout. And the other big rule change for the Curling World Cup is the timed ends. 4 minutes per team for the first half of the game. And 4 minutes and 15 seconds for each end of the second half. That is this game underway. Sweden, Russia. We've been playing a double round robin, or a double group play, if you will. The second time these teams meet. So no draw shot challenge before the game to determine hammer. Simply Russia had hammer in the first game. Sweden will have the last advantage in this one.
And Russia were winners in the first round-robin game, so Sweden will be out for revenge tonight. And more importantly, that place in tomorrow's final.
Sofia Malbags asked to draw the wing, and she does. This is something we've seen from quite a lot of teams. Rarely you'll see a team without hammer come into the house on the first one. Center guard seems to be the standard play. And usually 3 options for the team with last stone. Either come around that center guard, be aggressive, maybe even throw a corner guard. But we've also seen this a more cautious approach of bringing the play into the house early just to have a bit more control.
And with it being 8 games, Sweden have been successful this week, blanking the first and then trying to score in the even ends.
Guizeva makes the hit, and so does Malbags. A perfect start for the leads. Julia Porchunova. Only 24 years old. Two very young teams on the ice overall. Will hit the red, just rolls a bit too far. And maybe all the way out after some good sweeping down the T-line from Skip Hasselborg. And she'll run up and ask for the peel of the guard immediately. So clearly Sweden very much wanting to blank this end here. Agnes Nockenhauer. She's been playing curling since a very young age. And that's why she can make these shots time and time again. Seems to be Sweden's game plan to maybe blank the first end, but could there be other reasons? Getting familiar with the ice, calming some nerves.
I don't think the nerves will be an issue for this team. I think they thrive on the sudden death games. And Anna Sidorova's a very experienced team as well. They won't be nervous. And to be fair, they all should know the ice by now. This is their 6th game on the ice, and it really has been very consistent all week. So I think it's just the game plan that Team Hasselborg came in with. They want to absolutely control the even ends of the game, score multiple there with a hammer and force one in the odd ends.
Well, the setting for the game is just perfect. Saturday night, and we're playing on the sheet closest to the crowd here, home favorites taking on Russia. Winner is in, loser is out. Lots of people in for this one. Our first look at Margarita Fomina. Long-time teammate of Anna Sidorova. They work so well together. And that's something we see a lot in the curling world. A skip and a vice sticking together. They might change their front end or a player or two, but a couple of dynamic duos out there. And certainly Sara McManus and Anna Hasselborg, one of those. Playing for a long time together. Won the World Junior Curling Championships together back in 2010. And after experimenting with the lineup for a few years, this foursome really rose through the rankings and impressed a lot of people. Won a lot of games, and of course, the Olympics as well, about a year ago. Will hit, but rolls out, so maybe Sweden a chance to come around that corner again. Now, speaking about the Olympics, Rona, I know you're a little humble about it, but you did win the Olympic Games.
Many moons ago.
how's that for a team post-Olympics? Do you lose any of the passion? I mean, do you feel like you've finished a goal, or do you just get more inspiration to do better? Is there more attention now? What happens?
Yeah, I mean, certainly after the Olympics, and I know Anna, having spoken to her after Pyeongchang last year, there was a lot of interest in them over the summer, and it's hard dealing with all the media requests because you're not used to it, and all of a sudden your time's not your own. So part of managing your time is a big issue. But, you know, the passion for the sport, we play this sport because we love it, and the passion's always there. And the minute that you don't have that passion to win, then it's time to give up. But certainly this team are so young. Many more wins in them, and they're definitely still very passionate and working hard to constantly improve, which is a good thing. They're not sitting back saying, well, you know, we had a successful year last year, so all's good. They're constantly working to improve.
They did fare pretty well at the World Championship as well, which came after the Olympic Games last season, just losing out in the final to Canada. As we see our first shot for Anna Sidorova here. She's able to fish out that Swedish counter and sits in the forfeit.
Nästa lite till. Agnes, vad var det för fart på den? 9-8. Ja.
Gick öppet eller?
Vad sa du? Ja, exakt. Ja. 9-0. Ja. Om jag är vi vill ju så mycket vi kan ditåt, men med lite fart så att vi inte riskar där bak.
Ja. Min kommer det lite grann. Alltså.
Ja. Bara kicka ganska hårt.
This young team have had so much success and say they're still in their 20s. There's a lot of potential yet for them to dominate the sport for years to come in the ladies' game.
We'll make the nose hit here. See if Russia might try and attempt the roll here and behind cover, maybe get a force. Meaning getting Sweden to score one.
Anna Sidorova, also a World Women's silver medalist. Four-time bronze medalist. So she herself's got a huge amount of experience.
Wow, makes a really good roll here. That is perfection, and that's probably why Sweden wanted to try and roll further away from that corner guard. Hasselborg ended up sitting right in the forfeit, left that shot for Sidorova, and that's so hard to do. Making that perfect roll, that's not a short roll either.
They're completely buried.
Så typ den är dubb och dragning borde vara bra. Ja, mot lite lösare. Lite lösare.
Ja, jag tänkte det. Den känns lite lång, va?
Ja. Jag tror vi kan sopa 14-0 till 10.
Ja.
Well, looking so good for the blank the entire end. Then of course had a chance to maybe get a soft two
Kändes ju lite lättare
around that corner, but now that corner guard's come back to haunt them. Gonna have to draw for the one. It's never too bad to be the first team on the scoreboard though, even if it's just a single point.
Ser lite lös ut.
Not a good chance for
Lever bra.
Anna Hasselborg to find her draw weight.
Rör sig inte jättemycket. Perfekt linje.
Sweeper's pretty comfortable here, just keeping it clean, just keeping this one alive as we enter the forfeit, and of course right on the tee line, as so often, 1 point for Sweden. On a cautious but very good start from the team's 1-0.
Härligt, bra. Bra Viktor gör. Bra linje.
Ha plats. Ligga hake.
Kolla upp, rinner lite. Bryter ingenting. Kolla upp. Kolla upp, kolla upp, kolla upp.
Bra fart, Fia.
Bra,
Kalla
bra
inte
satt
särskilt
Fia.
mycket där
Nej,
heller.
verkligen inte.
Second end of play.
Bra liv, Fia.
Sweden, Russia. Russia with the last stone advantage now. Of course, they're down one, so not going to draw the wing like Sweden. They'll be looking for a corner guard, ideally. Sweeper's not really touching this one, but looks like it will pull up in time. And a good shot by Guzeva.
Ja. Bra linje! Gå ganska rakt!
8.
Okej, hänger kvar! Okej, rinner!
Linjen är okej.
Linjen har plats! Linjen har mycket plats om vi kan vänta. Försöker du? 14-0.
Måste gå. Fight 4.
Agnes, gå. Gå.
Det är bra
Härligt,
linje.
Fia. Snyggt.
Couple of good shots again by Malbags. Played a really good game this morning. It was this morning, wasn't it?
It was. Very first game of the day.
Yeah, Sweden taking on China and made everything. China had a hard time putting any pressure on the Swedes, but they certainly played extremely well. And if we get more of the same, Russia's going to have some problems coping with that too. I think really important for Yulia Guzeva here to set up the ends well for Russia. Or Sweden will just capitalize and keep them chasing each end.
Gillar ni den? Jag tror jag gillar den mer, Agnes.
Okej.
Samma spår.
Ja. Bra flow, ja.
Thought about freezing the Yellowstone in the house, but changed the call here.
Jag gillar det här. Fia satte sin rakt. Bra linje.
Kan den gå?
Ni kan gå. Linjen är bra.
8 okej fart.
Vi har plats.
8 fin fart.
Gärna curla om vi kan.
8.
Curla.
8. Ligger där.
Och curla.
Där.
Curla. Nej.
En och
Inte på köppen. Inte på köppen.
bara. Nästan ner mot. Det är knappt där.
Ja, det är okej. Det är okej. Härligt. Snyggt.
Lovely shot. Well, we take a look. Sheet C, Sweden versus Japan. A must-win game for Nicholas Edin's Swedish side. Sweden lying one.
Bra linje.
Can draw the button here for 2.
Krippa. Börjar bli tight. Nej, bra linje. T-line. Okej. Är med ni? Börjar bli lite kort ut. Börjar bli lite tight. Den är lugn dock.
Just looking for the 1
På en
foot.
foten så har vi 2. På en foten.
Sweepers guide that in perfectly.
2.
It's a 2 for Sweden at the first
Correct.
end over Japan.
Bra. Håll ordning. Jag sa till Heder bara. Att det måste ha grejer.
Russia were just trying to tap back there and keep their shooter on the nose of the red. Just high of line. Leave Sweden line 2. Anna Hasselberg and her team have played in all 3 legs of the Curling World Cup. Got to the final in the first one, lost to Canada there. Didn't qualify in the second leg. So she would dearly love to qualify here, win this game, get to tomorrow's final, and then qualify for the grand final in Beijing.
Oh!
9.
Oh! Upp! Upp!
Nej.
Nej. på köp just nu. Lite Sara. Ja, det är bra.
Okej, det är bra. Det är bra.
Makes the hidden stick here. Knockenhauer. Born on the same day, same year as the skip, Hasselborg, actually. There's Peja Lindholm, national coach. Also a world champion a few times in his own right. Now overseeing most of what happens within Swedish curling. Korchinova looking to run back the guard here. Get a few reds going. She will. Keeps that yellow on the wing. That's a pretty good shot. Opens up everything. Still too red in the house, but the whole 8 foot now open. So important for a team with last stone to just get some space, create some room.
Just trying to bury that behind the guard.
Svetlana Kalab is
Looking a happy coach there, waving at the camera.
coach for Team Sidorova, and she's been at many championships. So lots of experience from coaching at these big tournaments. It's nice to have someone that's had a good curling, like a big curling career, but also importantly, maybe just to have someone that you're familiar with and knows you as a person and can help you in any other way.
Yeah, more of a team manager. We just saw a fantastic shot there.
In recent years, we've also seen teams bring along maybe not so much a tactical coach or technical coach, but a mental coach.
Yeah, psychologists are being used more and more in the sport. You need to be mentally fit, you need to be physically fit, as well as technically and tactically aware. So there's lots of different aspects to the game.
It's a mental test, you know, you're not running 100 meters, you're playing games that are at least 2 hours long. And quite often, like today, it's almost a week. At the Curling World Cup and at the World Championship, Olympics, we're talking closer to 2 weeks of curling.
So after that great hit and roll from Margarita Famina, Sweden came around the centre guard but have come deep and poked out the other side. You'll be able to see a third of that from the hack. Just come round at a tap back weight. Past the guard. Great shot. Russia lie too.
Ja, det tycker Vicka ändå. Det som är lite ovanligt, som det ändå är, den där försvinner ändå inte. Nej, bara chappar. Ja, Vicka lite.
Det här var 12-4 på
Samma fart som dem då?
Ja.
Så?
Ja. Får den med i spel liksom.
Sweden would dearly love to force Russia to a win here.
Deras var 12,5. Ja.
So Anna Hasselborg just looking to play same tap back weight. Just get a wee inside roll.
Spela samma? Ja.
A couple of attempts to come round that guard, crowd side.
Spår i mitten ändå tror jag.
And Sweden couldn't bury.
Spela en som hårdragning.
Sometimes we've seen with a big crowd at one side of the arena, there's slight difference to the ice nearest the crowd.
Kom igen en! Ja! Wow! Nära! Wow! Agnes!
Kommer ner lite.
Agnes!
Want to try and get the inside flop here, but it's going to go the other way.
12-2. Bra Anna. Fin fart. 12-2. Bra lir Anna. Bra spelarna.
Anna Sidorova can tap this back and afford to roll the other way and lie two separated.
Нужно прямо открыто даже.
One of the big differences here for the teams is time management. They normally are thinking time for the whole game, but here it's per end. They can't run out of time per end. Oh, and caught it on the high side and rolls out. A Hulai shot.
Дальше хотя бы. Дальше хотя бы.
Big opportunity missed there for Russia. Had the chance to hit and lie too.
Как испортить бросок называется самим. Jag ska säga att det är deras.
Ja, vi måste nästan dra ändå. För att om vi klipper den och jag inte får ut den.
50 nu Anna.
Ja.
Ska vi dra här ändå?
A little bit of a time
Du vill inte dra här Anna.
concern from the
Jag tror
front
att de har
end.
lättare
50
täta. Jag tror att det är
seconds.
bra
Now
härifrån.
40 seconds.
Lite vad man har mer att rulla
So you
på här.
think it's the Russians with shot stone here,
Okej,
but
samma
even so,
ansvar,
very hard to
Anthony.
get that one out, as you would have to peel it.
Vad hade vi Anna?
They could spin all the way across the 8 foot and out, so
Change their mind and come round in the in turn, and this is the one that they've struggled to bury throughout the end. We're going to play the out turn, but from the hatch has changed their mind.
might be because they've played more draws here. Also, the sweepers could be a bit more comfortable with the weight.
Ha plats! Kan ni vänta lite? Kan vi hålla igång
Hanging
lite?
out there a little bit.
Och gärna låta dig curla om det går. Låta curla.
Sweepers would quite like to go a bit, but they're waiting for this one to start curling a little. And you want to wait as long as possible, but you still need to get there. They waited as long as they could, just trying to drag it at the end. Done a pretty good job here. At least half buried.
Played a great weight. Just doesn't finish as much there as
Jag förstår vad du menar att dra där.
has on other sheets.
Liksom.
So just on that crowd side, it can be a bit different on that side of the ice.
Upside for Sweden is Russia don't have a lot of room for error. Can't afford to roll too far. Need to stay in the 8 foot. Now, of course, if the draw doesn't finish, a hack weight or a board weight shouldn't finish much either. So, gotta make sure not to overthrow this one. Essentially, only need backline weight to push this red stone out of the 8 foot. Last stone on its way, second end, looking to score 2 here. And it is running a bit straight on them, but it's really trying. Onto the red, it will roll. And I wonder if it just rolls a bit too far. Gonna have a look. So I don't think that was for 2, and now they're actually considering maybe measuring if it's 1.
Jag gjorde. En kvar ändå inte.
Det gick jävligt rakt.
It was a missed opportunity. And Anna Sidorova's first. They played the end well to set up for 2.
But even with the second one there, you saw how straight that draw was running. In fact, all the draws were running in that end. It wasn't a big surprise that you were going to catch that on the high side. Sometimes you just got to believe what you see. Sometimes a little hard to do in the second end. As we see the umpire now measuring if it's 1 for Russia or 1 for Sweden. And it is 1 yellow. So Russia score 1. And that is a tied game through 2 ends of play there in Jonkoping, Sweden.
Сорян, можно было, конечно, дальше сделать. Хорошо. Да, да, с гардой взять. Центральный не особо сильно валит.
Bak 4 liksom. Så bara att
Där är en av chanser vi gör en perfekt.
Att vi gör den här perfekta vicken, exakt. Men jag var inte riktigt med på att den skulle sitta, alltså precis. Alltså, man väntar på curlen.
Den satt verkligen mer än din andra sten.
Så det blev lite så här, aha, och jävlar. Ja. Okej.
Men det är bra.
Men jag hade kunnat kommunicera det bättre också. Att, liksom.
Well, the crowd's close to the action here on the end sheet, but of course you at home having a pretty good overview as well. So we get pretty close to these athletes. I don't think I've seen Sofia play a draw behind the tee line all week.
Well, there as well, it just doesn't finish as much as we have seen it. Usually if you pass the guard by that amount, you'd be completely buried.
Well, the good part is it's kind of curled the same for your opponent, so it's tougher to follow.
So important for your leads to set up the ends the way you want to call the game. Tactics are okay and a game plan's good, but if the leads don't set it up, it's very difficult to follow through.
So wanting to freeze that red that way, basically shrinking the house and the scoring area for Sweden. Well, that pulls up just a bit short, so Sweden have a chance to draw the wing here and sit to.
Fort Agnes! Gå, gå, gå! Måste ner, vi bara på sydfotskant. Måste nedanför. Gå, gå, gå! Vi bara på sydfotskant. Gå, 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 gå! Bra spel, Fia.
A look over, USA 2-0 up on Switzerland. Must-win game for Switzerland if they want to be in with a chance of progressing. Facing 2 US stones, Yannick Schwaller. He has got backing, but this is hanging high. And he rubs the top guard. A steal of 2 for USA. 4-0 after 2 ends. Not the start the Swiss boys looking for.
Marginal här!
So a great hit and roll there from Russia. Forces Anna Hasselberg to go for the raise in the front yellow.
Bra. Bra. Bra så.
Russia just want to replace that guard. It's slightly over curled this time. Anna just asking Agnes, knocking her how much she can see from the hack of that stone.
Har du 7/8 på det? Okej, 11 då.
Ja.
So you saw Anna Hasselberg putting up her first finger, index finger, in her pinky.
Bit of a rock and roll kind of sign.
Yes.
I think it just means 2, as in 12 seconds maybe. A little easier to see using those fingers and the peace sign, if you will.
Tried to get the inside.
Gå.
Lovely shot.
Ända ut. Ännu mer. Härligt. Fint. 11-3. Skriv sen, Agnes.
Bra skip. Bra linje.
11-3, det känns ju lösare, men...
Bra fart.
Or it could maybe just mean rock and roll as a hit and roll. Hold tight on the brush here, 4.5. Huge sweep from Porchinova and Gozeva. Will make the short run back in set 2.
It's very well held by the sweepers.
Okej, 9-7, 9,5.
So Sarah McManus would love to get an inside roll here
Nej!
behind the cover.
Ja! Ja! Agnes, hårt! Wow.
Full vit, va? Bra sådär. Bra så. Bra skippat, Anna. 9,5.
So Sweden lies second and
Frida
third.
skulle kunna vicka på den där helium framför tid.
Russia still lie 1.
Да, я тоже.
9-5, 10.
Another big sweep.
Good hit and roll. Into lie 2 again. No double on the yellows.
För 10,5.
Sweden just looking for that hit and roll, but again the straighter side just hits on the nose.
Satt chappen så hade de ju kunnat vicka in och ligga gömda bakom från topplock. Det där blev ju rätt bra. Alltså vicka ut så.
Sätter de vicken perfekt.
Anna Sidorova looking to catch the inside. She's also on the high side. So rolls out and now gives Anna Hasselberg the chance to hiddle lie 2
Känns som att hon ändå skulle ha...
or come around.
Hon lär ju bara frysa. Jag gillar den här ändå, eller? Vad gillar ni?
Jag gillar vilken?
Vi kan ju ha en tävling, vi kan ha in-off, en klipp. Ja.
Vad var Saras? Vilken fart?
Just
9,5.
Ja. Ta lite mindre då.
Alltså den som var här. Är det 9,5 Anna?
see the whole stone. If she could flop off the inside and lie 2 buried, be a great result.
Jävla järn, alltså Saras. De slidade.
Så de startade typsatt ut den.
Ja, jag tyckte de slidade vid och satte den rakt.
Sa det i alla fall.
Ja.
Ja, mycket fart! Nej! Nej! 8-8!
Nej!
8-8! Nej! 8,5! Nej!
Nej!
Väldigt mycket fart. 8-4. Ja.
Tad heavy here from Hasselborg as they roll out.
Men varenda gång jag ska kicka
A few errors coming in from both sides.
så skriker han.
Just
Yeah,
not
so-
getting to grips with the ice tonight.
Гар далекий, единственное, что ему через весь дом выходить и нельзя слабый вес.
Его очень мало видно.
Гард, в принципе,
Можно
далекий.
привезти сюда.
Дай сюда дрожку закинь.
Если просто даже хорошо, ну если здесь дро, да, это дабл, торчит. Если здесь только хорошо устраивается, ну да, теоретически может попасть. Первая мысль была, наверное, вытолкать, давай.
Мне нравится больше
Должен
доставать.
подваливать.
Я думаю, да. 11-5-12.
А?
11-5-12.
Seems to be
Там большое расстояние
coming
между
after
гардами.
this red stone here. So see the clock, 50 seconds left, more than enough time for Sidorova to go through her pre-shot routine. You always see cleaning the running band of the stones. Everyone does that, just in case there's any debris underneath. Roll of focus. And then kicking out the hack, Sidorova.
Если может не хватить!
Always tucked up on the toe. A little tight here, and the sweepers again going to have to work this one really hard to get it past the guard. And they have. Some really good sweeping by the Russian front end today. And Fomina even needs to make sure that red one goes all the way out.
Big team effort on that shot.
You know, Sidorova, when she's throwing, especially shots like that, she knows she has 2 very strong sweepers. You can afford to be a little tight or take minimal ice, throw minimal weight, and the sweepers will do the rest. There's no reason to be wide and heavy when you have a front end like that. So that seems to be a trait for the best teams too.
Absolutely, use your
utilizing the
sweepers.
sweepers, yeah.
That's why they're there. There's nothing worse than the sweepers standing back, watching a stone going down, and they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, no, sweeping's not to correct mistakes, it's more to make the shot. And we've seen that on many occasions today, as Anna Hasselborg now having to draw against 3 Russian counters. Had perfect draw weight from the first end. Now a bit more pressure. With 3 yellows in there. And we'll bring it to the top of the 4 for 1. And it's a very close contest here as Sweden leads it 2-1 after 3 ends.
Ну, вам ничего не расскажу. Но скоро хочется. Лед, мне кажется, то, что раскатывается.
gå, gå. Upp på linan, upp på linan. Gå, 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 gå. Bra, Fia.
Det är bra Fia. Härligt.
Only singles on the scoreboard so far as Sweden take on Russia. Quite often is just a testament to how good these teams are, equalizing each other so far through 3 ends. Of course, Sweden with the 1-point lead, but Russia with the last one advantage. So, at least in my mind, this is as close to a tie you'll get. A hammer certainly worth the point. 85% for the week, Sofia Måbags. She's been asked to play a lot of tough shots too. It's hard to count how many tech shots she had to play this morning. Only missed the one by half a millimeter.
Kommer där! Den försöker nu! 14-8. Japp, Agnes! Japp, Agnes! Gå, gå, gå! Japp! Gå, 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 gå!
Det är bra Livia.
Nice draw again. A little bit hard to get those fully buried coming that way. But they'd rather keep it slightly open on that side than a little bit open on the corner guard side.
Yeah, because if they showed any on the other side, Russia would tap it back and roll behind their corner.
Все еще многовато. Вес есть вроде бы. А нет, надо, не надо, не вали, прямо. Молодцы. Снова травка. Ja, mindre som jag har. 12 eller något. Gard, va?
Bra linje! Gå då!
Mellan!
Linje!
Hake!
Ja!
Liten dutt! Hake!
Dutta vid garden lågt! Japp, gå då!
Liten dutt bara!
Japp!
Snabbt!
Japp! Håll den high! Håll den high! Gå! Gå! Det är bra.
So we'll peel these two center guards. Now it'll be interesting to see how the back guard will redirect. Depending on how they catch it here, they could run it back onto the 2 stones in the house. This might be a little too thin, might drag past it, and they will. So if they're wanting to make contact with the yellow, they needed to catch that one a lot thicker. More a hit and roll, really. If they caught it perfect, could have even maybe kicked the red one out and had the yellow stone top 8 spinning behind the corner. Maybe that was Sidorova's thought.
Samma linje!
Samma höjd!
Samma linje!
Hak emellan! Hak emellan!
Well, most importantly, they've opened up the center now.
Bra linje!
Hårt hake!
Okej.
Bra linje!
Bort! Bit! Japp, gå! Japp! Järnet! Järnet, Fia! Lite till! Gå! Bra.
A look over Canada, Scotland. Third end. Canada lying 1. Matt Dunstone a draw for 2. He's blanked the first 2 ends.
Line's good.
This is a must-win
Have a
game
look.
for both
Line's
these
good.
teams.
Line's good.
Whoever wins will qualify
Yep,
for the
line.
final tomorrow.
Line's good. Line's good. Take a look. Line's good. Put on the tee. Time says here.
The sweepers seem happy with it.
Time says here. Okay. Great scrum, boys. Attaboy.
Yep, in the forefoot. So, score of 2. Canada lead 2-0 after 3 ends.
Great scrum, Lucy. Job, boys.
Opposition. Good job, Stacey.
Well, Russia have peeled the guard. Sweden will just replace it. Sweden know if Russia get the chance, that yellow is frozen, so it'll be an easy tap back for Russia to lie to.
Ser ut att greppa er!
Nära! Samma!
Okej,
Lite närmare! Behöver kalla!
Lätt den in då!
Nej!
Väl, ja, vill jag vänta.
kan vi frysa?
Ja.
Ja, i så fall fria närmast. Ja! Ja! Gå! Klossfrysen. Gå! Okej.
Det är bra. Det är bra.
Hade du på det? Ja, okej. Ja, det var i kast.
%90 for Margarita Formina for the tournament. Very high percentages for third player.
Vi andra!
So removes the Swedish shot stone.
Du har hela där va? Ja.
Russia lie 1 and 3.
Jag tror jag vickar långa!
Ja, jag gillar det.
Ja. 10!
Ja,
Borde gå rätt rakt här än också.
okej.
Sarah McManus slightly lower. And Formina 84%.
Fin fart. Rent.
Just still pretty good shooting.
Wow!
Playing 91% this morning.
Kommer ner lite!
Nej!
Always good to perfect your game coming into the
Räcker det? Snyggt.
playoff implication games and potentially a final tomorrow.
Bra, härligt. Bra spel. Bra fart. Gick typ inte att vicka så mycket mer. Den fick liksom ingen liv. Vi gick ganska tajt på den här.
As we mentioned, the winner of this game will play in the final Sunday.
Sweep! Watching! Sweep!
Big weight here from Formina. Trying to splint. Oh, just catches the top of the red.
I was hoping to catch that a lot thinner.
Jag tänker mig spela out här.
Kept that second red as well. Sit 2.
Jag spelade i outanen. Jag spelade en 12 då. Kommer ihåg att vi gick ju där med en 12. Ja, en 11 så, gillar du det?
Ja, inte samma hand.
Russia just haven't been able to utilize their corner guards here at this end to try and generate a 2. They've had to chase the end by peeling off the center guards.
Jag tycker det känns naturligt
Open
att spela
things
11
up.
när vi spelar 12 här. Ja. Ligger exakt samma ställe. Hände ingenting med överkörlen heller.
Fin fart. Fin.
Vänta!
11.
Wow!
Där en.
Wow!
Wow.
Helt av!
Fin fart.
Helt av!
Försöker ni?
Nej!
Var med dig. Ja.
Nej!
Ja.
Sweden don't want to leave a double on their reds here to roll to the other side.
Japp.
And behind cover, great shot from Anna Hasselberg.
Härligt Anna. Härligt. Bra. Härligt tjej.
Härligt.
Grymt tips Sara. Härligt.
Can see it's completely buried.
Perfekt fart.
Guard is long, so there is room for Russia to come and just tap back. It'll finish once it passes the guard.
Надо ей побольше времени оставлять.
Время!
Ну да. пройти стоит, нужен такой, типа, такое ведро, чтобы разогнать его и чуть-чуть оттолкнуть. Хватит, да?
Я думаю, хватит. Туда уютнее,
На 2, вот сейчас в этом энде на 2 болгар.
Супервес! Ближе к концу!
Нет! Внимание! Нет! Нет, нога!
Внимание, Сви!
Just doing a tap back weight.
Нет, ничего!
Валить!
Подсаживается!
Нельзя валить!
Пусть
Trying to
валит!
get this to curl at the end. Is it going to make contact?
У него не прямые.
Just nicks it and rolls into the open. They were expecting that to pull more at the end.
Jag tror att det går så. Ja, jag vill. Ja. Vad skulle du, vilken fart känner du naturlig? Så, ja, jag gillar det. Du tror att det går lugnt, va?
Ja.
Ja. Ska det inte att vicka lite?
Tjejerna kan hålla bra på
Bara vicka
soporna.
2 steg.
Ja.
So a chance for Anna Hasselberg to play the same shot as her last. A head and roll behind
Ja.
and force Russia to take their one.
Ja. Nej, precis. Det borde vara lugnt.
Är det vicka lite bara, eller?
Ja, vi lämnar gärna dragningen, sa vi. Ja, precis. Sätt mig dit med.
Ja, säkert 10.
So would love a hit and roll in behind here.
Nära! Nej, låt det jobba! Fia om något.
Säkert 10.
Ligger tja. Det är bra, lirarna.
Just hits it on the nose, but does lie 3.
Det gick väldigt lugnt.
Ja, 9-2. Bra liv.
En gång till.
Anna Sidorova can nose hit this for shot.
Jag också säga till. Det är han längst ut på hörnet. Nej, där borta.
Det är alldeles hit om staketet, svart jacka.
Men sen någon, bara så att du vet.
Och så halsduk har han.
På den här läktaren. Närmare oss, längst ut
Just
på
been
läktaren. Längst ner.
Han som har knä.
I think there's a fan that's been just a little bit eager. So just going to let a new curling fan know that maybe just stay a little calm during the actual throw and save the applause for after. As we see the last one from Sidorova. Coming down very nicely, nose hit. So 1 point for Russia, only singles on the board through 4 ends of play. And it's all tied up at 2 each at halftime. Exactly what we're hoping for. Stay tuned here in Jonkoping, Curling World Cup.
Jättefin omgång. Det är jävligt bra.
Det är bra tjejer.
Ni verkar ha jävligt bra koll på alla spår och så
Ja, men
i
jag
alla
tycker också
fall.
det.
Känns ju bra nu.
Ja.
Lite lösare.
Ja, jag tänkte det. Den känns lite lång, va?
Ja. Jag tror vi kan sopa.
First end, great hit and roll from Anna Sidorova. Anna Hasselberg has to draw for her one. Plays it perfectly to the button.
Här är ett 14 håll på tid. Bra. Härligt, bra. Bra Vickon gör.
Second end, and Anna Sidorova playing a tap back. Not sure if it's for one or two. They don't know who's lying second shot. Hits and rolls too far. So measure to see who gets the shot, and it is Russia, a score of 1.
Att vi gör den där perfekta Vickon, exakt. Men jag var inte riktigt med på att den... 14-0 eller?
Third end, Russia line 3. Anna Hasselberg having to draw for one.
Kan vi hålla dig
Needs to be
lite?
fully in the 8 foot.
Helt lugn, helt lugn, helt lugn. Bra.
Härligt, Anna.
Nursed in by the sweeper. Score of 1 for Sweden.
О, вам ничего не расскажу. Но скоро хочется.
Per omgång.
Ja.
Det blir så
Exakt.
snabbt så.
Och sen så bara,
så långt.
jaha, nu hinner man liksom komma ner i...
Pausen är ju längre än en omgång.
Jaha.
Ja, absolut.
Ja,
Det är
och
fan
det känns ju
sjukt.
helt orimligt. Då bara, jaha.
I och för sig omgången 8 minuter för båda maxar i sin egen tid, men
Jo, men ändå.
mycket stående.
Ja. Ja, men bra snack där ute, hörni.
Det upplevs ju härifrån i alla fall. Han har superkoll på lägen.
Men det känns verkligen...
Ja, du också det.
Jag tycker vi ska ha sjukt mycket tålamod när vi bara ska så här, hitta när vi kan lägga in extra växel.
Elsewhere, there's a lot of men's games this evening as Norway play China. The Chinese up by 1. USA leading 4-2 on Switzerland. Sweden 4-1 on Japan. And Canada is up 2-0 on Scotland.
Здесь выталкивается даже.
Если они привезут до Ти, то будем тогда сразу на ролл, да?
Надо не дать им перенести камеру. Обязательно зафорсить ее.
Ну да.
Чтобы шестом взять. Интрига.
Интрига.
Я люблю.
Да.
Ура. Вот.
Looking at some of the stats, very evenly matched the teams here, and that shows on the scoreboard as well. High percentages overall. It's been a joy to watch. And we're just hoping for more of the same in the second half, really.
Не-не-не-не-не, Рита, 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 опять поправлено, очень широко будет. Давай, Рит, давай, 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 давай. Еще, сделайте, сделайте, надо коснуться центра. Давай, 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 еще.
Sweden and Russia, they're back on the ice for the second half of this exciting game. Winner will go to the final tomorrow. You can see Sofia Malbag's playing 97% through four ends.
Not sure where she dropped the 3%, to be fair.
Bryter inte alls nästan. Gå
She
extremt
is
bra.
one super lead, that's for sure.
Japp, jag bara menar att vi... Gå. Räcker där om kan jag tycka.
Det är bra.
Bra.
Bra liv, Fia.
Только вес.
91% for the game.
Легко.
For Guzeva. Very strong as well.
О, нет. Нет.
Он может перевалить. Да не надо.
Second half of the game, the teams now have 4 minutes 15 seconds of thinking time per end.
Моргай.
I didn't have any huge problems with that in the first half, but of course might have some drama here in the last few ends.
Wow!
I think we're Looking at a tech shot here again from Sofia Moabags. We saw her play these so many times this morning. And she's going to make another one. Again, super effort from her. Double corner guards on one side and another corner on the opposite side. Really good setup again.
She couldn't have gone down and placed that any better. Fantastic shot.
Few struggles early, Porchinova, but as long as the score is tied at this point, it's all about start making more shots. Comes up a bit shy here.
So a very long guard will not cover that stone in the house. Agnes knocking her can see probably nearly half the stone from the hack. Not Agnes's best game so far. 69%. Lower than her tournament average.
Just going to roll out, I think.
Bra spel, Agnes. 11-3. Det var bra fart, va? Så exakt samma som jag neråt.
Well, lots of rocks in play in this end. I think it's pretty sure we're going to get a score here, so just get the popcorn ready. In for some good entertainment.
Working this one hard to try and bury it. Great shot there. Portanova completely buried. Just acknowledging our sweepers, well swept. The only benefit for Sweden is it is a long guard, so there is the opportunity to come around it. Just a tap back weight, past the guard, and it will curl enough to get to the shot.
Able to keep that past the guard, a little shy for weight maybe. So Hasselborg needing to do some sweeping as well.
Wow. Very well swept.
I don't think Hasselborg minds a little bit of sweeping to keep warm either. Look at that, that just squeezes past the guard. And that is now fully buried as well.
Really great shot, really well managed by the sweepers. 100% for the game for Mina. Wow, can't get any better than that. Just looking to come in and freeze on top here.
Not sure if she'll get 100% for that one.
No. She could have been up, even just slightly tap it. So Sweden can come around, just need to be careful they don't set up a double.
Det är tajt att ha full åtta, men det här är för sig okej. Spela full åtta, frys! Jag tror vi har plats!
Sarah McManus, very consistent. Same stats for the game as for the week. This is looking very high. Need to try and take it back now.
Ja, gå! Hårt! Gå! Hårt!
And set up a double on those reds. It's not where they wanted to finish that.
Nej, jag var osäker på hur mycket mer eller mindre jag skulle ha, för jag tänkte som jag ökar. Det vi hade ju typ bara så här på täpen.
Jag ger dig ganska lång, jag kan ju vara lite mer
Du kan vara du kommer ut lite. Men
Gives Russia the chance to lift both these reds out of play.
Sviv! Sviv!
And Famina plays it perfectly.
Nice double there.
Just hits enough of that side red, pings the other red out the side. So the cover is still there for Sweden to come around.
Bra linje! Vi har plats! Perfekt! Det är bra linje!
Ha plats! Mera plats! Fin fart, 4!
Bättre curl! Var med den! Japp, linje! Linje! Japp!
You can see this really pulling. Has it got the weight to bury?
Gå! Härligt, bra.
It does lie short, but it hasn't completely buried. Russia will be able to see enough of that.
Bra.
Det är lite segt där.
Ja, 14,5 hade jag.
Ja, det är 90 på korta.
Ja.
You can just see the edge.
Пока попробовать вытолкать. Ты тут делала на 12. Даже если сюда мы привозим, что она будет делать? Повезет еще сюда. Повезет сюда. Да, второй. Я пробью через это, да, у нее будет ближе к 8 футов. Да. Ну да.
Anna
Итак,
Sidorova
видите, даже если я ошибаюсь,
Если ты ошибаешься,
у меня один остается открытым. Да, он хотя бы
either coming in and freezing on top of the red or trying to nick it out.
Ты делала до этого.
Typ, det där är typ samma som hon hade nog spelat täpen som låg på linan.
Sweden just haven't had the opportunity to use the corner guards that they set up nicely from Sofia Marbergs.
Мне не нравится привести за это все. За что? Вот так, за центр. Там есть наш. Сзади.
So Sidorova
Если мало видишь, давай вести.
having a look from the hack. Sticking with her original thought. 88% for her for this game.
Свип!
Tight of line, Sweepers trying to hold this past the top guard. And she's passed.
Давай, давай, давай.
And gets a roll. Great shot by Anna Sidorova. She couldn't see much of that stone from the hack.
Den där är inte högen.
Well, she's made a couple of
Jag tror att den här känns naturlig.
those shots, especially on the in
Så
turn.
där, det går rätt bra.
Just handing it to the sweepers, letting them make the shot for her.
So now Anna Hasselberg coming
Hon är
around
skjuter
her
så
two
himla
red
lätt ut,
corners.
alltså, om vi rundar samma. Ja, det är det vi tänker också. Ja, exakt. Det är det jag tänker också. Ja, exakt. Vi måste komma skottet bara. Ja. Vad tror ni om farten?
Nolla är bra.
Ja.
Helt okej. 14-0 där liksom. Ja, lite mer andra än förut.
Ja.
100% for Anna Hasselberg for the game.
Nej, linjen är lugn.
Var med den nu, ja!
Ja!
Ja! Hårt! Hårt!
Sweepers on this very early. Can't afford to catch the top one.
Järnet, vi gör av
Gå, ni har den!
Fortsätt!
Gå!
Fortsätt! Jobba!
Just wrecking on the corner. Spins to the forefoot though for shot stolen.
En curlande
Perfect weight if she had passed that
Satt
guard.
inte den där på curlande sätt?
Nej,
Nej.
kom ganska direkt bara tycker jag.
Vad sa du?
Den bara fick upp direkt tror
Frida
jag.
sätter ju sina rakt, det gör hon ju, men det där var ett helt annan.
So a chance now for Anna Sidorova to really put the pressure on. Hit line 3. So a look over Canada, Scotland. Canada 2-0 up. Fifth end, Ross Patterson with a shot for 2. To tap the red back, avoid the back yellow, plays it perfectly. So a 2 for Scotland, ties the game after 5, 2-all.
Meanwhile, Sidorova this time not using her sweepers. Doesn't curl enough, actually jams in the back. Redstone remains in the back 12.
Men,
Tycker du har rullat ganska?
ja, absolut, men vi har ju det där på fjärden.
So perhaps a double for Sweden to score 2.
Det där är lite träff, gillar du det?
Jag tror att det finns något curl nu här. Där det...
Nej, det
Could
tror
play
jag
the
tror
nose
inte
hit for
det. Tack.
one. It's a safe shot. Easy one.
And doesn't need to push the other yellow out the house, just needs to push it enough back to bring the back red into play.
So would you quite like to play this, not maybe too heavy?
Tänker att jag
Make sure
slidar
you can't
bra
roll
och
over
sätter
the
den
top.
rakt fram. Inte så himla mycket utåt. Jag tror att det finns
You need to throw massive weight.
No, and the way the scoreboard's going, you know, if it overcurls and they do nose and take their one, it's not a disaster.
At the same time, actually it's quite thin, so I think we will see a bullet here just to take the ice Sweden out of it. Let's catch a thin piece here. Do they have it? 1-2. That's 2 points for Sweden. Anna Hasselborg having a party here tonight in Jonkoping, Sweden. And finally, there's not only singles up on that scoreboard, it's a deuce for Sweden. And that's one incredible shot. It's a peach, it's a flower. And a 4-2 lead for Sweden after 5 ends.
Fin omgång ändå. Kämpa på lite med linjen liksom, men jag tycker vi snackar bra fortfarande.
Jag tycker vi har bra tålamod.
Воспользоваться.
Gå då, gå!
Gå, jobba nu.
Gå, gå, gå!
4-2 the score.
Okej. Hur blir det?
It took a while to get a deuce up on that scoreboard.
Sara,
It definitely wasn't
vad
easy.
gillar ni?
Sitter lite mer.
Full
Great
12 eller?
double by Anna Hasselborg.
Jag gillar det.
All they needed was a half a mistake from Sidorova. That half mistake was certainly penalized with a great shot. 2 points for Sweden. And you know, 2 points, not a lot for a curling end, but when there's only been singles on the board for the entire game, that 2 seems a little bigger than usual, doesn't it?
Certainly does. When it is such a tight scoreline, you just want to get that jump. It was a big mistake from Anna Sidorova. She had the chance to hit in lie 3 and really put the pressure onto Sweden there. And all of a sudden, Sweden have a double for 2. and Anna Hasselberg certainly capitalised.
När du kan, Agam.
Nej, det
Ja.
tycker jag. Okej.
Bra. Alltså, vi kan liksom inte köra för Fomin och de går
So
åt
good
sidan
come
så
around
långsamt.
again by Sofia Marbergs.
Och nu försökte jag att stå här nere för att de inte skulle börja tidigt.
Sixth end, Russia will be keen to get a two back here on the board.
Нет. Слабее, слабее.
Julia Guseva.
Свип, Рит, очень! Свип, да, пойди!
So a look over, Sweden 4-1 up on Japan. Fifth end, Sweden lie 3. Masaki Iwai.
Bara sitta!
This needs to be fully in the 8 foot. And it's perfect. On the button. So a score of 1, Sweden lead Japan 4-2.
Вот так, наверное. Если что, внутрь. Можно 2 центральных убрать еще. Ай, вот эти 2. Если мы убираем 1. Да, печалька тогда, ладно. Ран? Да.
Big weight here from Porto Nova. Just misses the one in the house. And Sweden are one of the member associations that have sent the same teams to all 3 legs of the World Cup in men and women. So both Anna Hasselberg and Nicholas Edin looking to win here to get to that grand final in Beijing. They haven't booked their space yet.
Det är bara gå! Bara mellan! Okej, gå! Meter! Gå! Gå! Hela vägen! Hela vägen, gå! Lite till! Gå, lite till! Bra. Det är bra. Ja, vad segare i sidan. Det är bra, Aga.
Another good guard from Agnes Knockenhauer. In Russia, they're having to clear the front, they're having to open it up, which is not what they want to do when they're 2 down. They want to use the guards in play and try and generate a 2.
Well, that's exactly it. They're going to have to generate something. Sweden's not just going to hand them an open chance to score 2 here. They're going to have to do it themselves. Makes a double, but leaves the center guard. Red is open, but just barely. Looking around, we see 4 men's games. China's up 5-4 on Norway. USA 7-2 on Switzerland. It's a 4-2 lead for Sweden over Japan, and tied game between Canada and Scotland just next door.
Bra linje! Försiktigt då! Nej! Ekholm är nära! Nej!
The other ladies section has been completed. Korea have qualified and will be in the final tomorrow. They're awaiting the winner of this game between Sweden and Russia.
Just wanting this one to just pull up north of the house, and it does. There's the women's standings as it racks up right now. Sweden and Russia on top of their Group A, so meaning the winner of this game will go through to the final. Korea and the other group, they're already qualified for tomorrow, as that group has wrapped up. So basically winner of this one will play Korea in the final tomorrow for all the marbles. And just a slight miss again. Quite a lot of yellows blocking that out-turn side here. And Sweden can just keep putting up a guard, just anywhere in front of the house, really.
Samma linje! Samma linje!
Ta det lugnt, Agnes, ta det lugnt.
Var är vi?
Håll upp.
Lite kort hake!
Håll upp. Det
Bra
ser
linje!
inte bra där.
Hake! Kort hake! Kort hake!
Okej,
Perfekt linje.
gärna sitta bara.
Lite kort hake!
Bara sitta.
Ligger perfekt.
Nej, 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 nej.
Bra Sara, härligt.
Bra.
Bra Sara.
Varför kallar den där det där sista?
Det var, kändes lite försiktigare.
Tjejsa! Men jag tyckte, alltså jag tyckte de gick i väldigt lika spår. Det var bara som att den här kom lite i slutet.
Det känns som att de tog lite kall, men det var kanske var.
So Russia can see the edge of this. Just gonna come around and try and tap it back. Firmina having a great game today. As we saw earlier, this side of the ice at the crowd, with any running, it doesn't draw as much at the end. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Oh, this one's going to slip all the way to the back of the 12-foot.
And that was one where they needed to err on the right side, and even if they caught the guard and opened things up, would be a better result.
Det där är mindre is än vad du hade på gadden, men det borde vara lugnt. Det där är mindre is än vad du hade på gadden. Gillar du det?
Gillar det, sätta lite press.
Well, seems like the home crowd is giving another sweet,
Det där är Fias gardspår, så det borde vara bra
giving someone a hand out there. Other games going on.
Yeah, it's nice to see a big crowd in and really supporting the players.
Mycket snabbt. Vi vill vara full 8 med, och julgranar, men annars har vi inte perfekt linje så måste vi ju lämna den. Ja. Jag tror typ runt 14,5 på 10 fortfarande ändå. Ja. Eller? Vad säger ni tjejer? Ja.
So Sweden's going to come around again here. Either top of the 12-foot, that outer circle of the house, or even in the white 8-foot would be a good spot.
Nej, 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 låt mig jobba lite.
Måste vänta på den.
Fia.
Dutta lite.
Våga eka den.
Dutta lite.
Nej, nej, nej.
Massa
Eka den
plats.
linje. Nej, nej, nej.
Hang all wide, needs to curl. Get to the face of their own red here.
Nej, 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 nej.
Just in time.
Bra Anna.
I wonder what all that commotion
Bra.
was about just moments ago.
14-1. Så. Ja.
As we look over, sheet C, Sweden 4-2 up against Japan.
Håll igång.
Nicholas Edin, a shot for 3.
Hårt! Kom igen, kom igen. Ren. Bra.
Wow.
No problem there, and that's exactly what the crowd were cheering for. It's a shake of hands from Japan. Sweden wins 7-2, and that puts them straight into tomorrow's final. And they will await to see who they play, the other results. So, acknowledging the crowd, a wee wave to the camera, they're happy.
Man vill gärna komma ner så mycket som möjligt, bara ligga här, för hon har ju så mycket att skjuta mot det liksom.
Ja, precis.
So Sweden
Samma linje och
have
lägga
topped
tre
that
så.
section in the men's. The
Skulle
other
vi vinna
section
så
is the
skulle
big
vi
game on,
skjuta den.
Canada versus
Eller
Scotland.
samma linje är det.
Enda hon kan, alltså,
The winner of that
Vi har
will
tid
play
att prata.
Nicholas Edin Swedish side tomorrow.
okej att komma nästan så här annars. För alltså de är ju lättast för att göra dubbel.
Ja,
Den där
precis.
måste ju ändå
Skicka
den
ditåt och då
snett
borde-
den ska jobba mycket på.
Men tror ni att
Exakt.
vi behöver vara full 12 för att ligga 3?
Komma här bara.
Gillar ni att dra den?
Ja.
Så länge vi gör min sida så finns det ju inte den.
Så får hon en
Jag gillar
käpprätt
den.
då.
Vad sa du?
Får hon en käpprätt då.
Det gäller bara gard så får hon göra skjutningen också.
So debate here for Sweden. They know that that double is on the reds. And Russia do have a back counter. So they don't want to leave away to that double and lose a 2. So just looking how best to block that gap.
Här hade vi.
Det där är nog bra, tror jag.
Det är ändå nästan samma spår som vi gick i. Alltså lite innanför.
Ligger den nära så kan man blocka båda.
Ja, precis. Det är typ samma is nu, men...
Still got 40 seconds,
Du
so
kan ta
doesn't
lite
need to
mindre,
rush.
Där. Spelar
You
den
can see there is a way to that top red to lift the double.
Spelar lite lösare, va? Det är okej? Ja.
Kan vi hålla i den lite?
Kom med den, Agnes!
Håll i den lite.
Wow! Bra linje!
Håll i den lite. Bara stanna.
Perfekt linje!
Bara sitta nu, Agan. Bara stanna. Bara
Jag tycker det är bra linje. Ja, det är bra linje.
They need this to stop.
Det ligger bra, bara sitta.
Skämtar bara.
Stanna då.
Ska bara se om ni var med.
Has it done enough?
Lämnar vi dubbeln, eller?
Ja, det finns ett hål.
Ska jag dra ner den då?
Ja, det lät ju.
Внутри это прям очень тяжело. Просто на камень, я думаю, вес. Понравится снаружи?
Russia need to catch that top red on the inside of it to make sure that red spins out to the side. Out. Their back yellow is just half in the 12-foot. So Anna Hasselberg's stone is just fractionally over curled, but it is tight to get both of these reds out. Anna Sidorova, big weight.
Нет! Нет!
Вали!
No sweeping.
Вали, 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 вали!
Oh, and catches the top guard. It's a steal of 2.
Wow. And all of a sudden this game has blown wide open. Rather blown out as Sweden is up 6-2. 4-point lead and running away with this one. But 2 ends left.
Firing.
Den där hatten.
Nej, kanske inte.
Det är bra.
Det är bra, jävligt bra.
Мы там... Нет. Может, меньше стоять надо было и сильнее делать.
Там запас был такой, надо было как раз пройти.
Bra linje!
Vi lämnar en 12 bara.
Vill ni gå hit? Bra linje för det.
Bara sitta 12 då.
Bra koll. Bra tjejer.
6-2 the score for Sweden.
Det är samma tänk nu när det
Bra,
är 4.
Precis.
Så hade det varit 3 man kanske kunde ha lagt in.
Such a close game through the first 4 ends. Broke open just a wee bit with that 2 for Sweden in the 5th. And then Russia just on the back foot the entire 6th end, although Sidorova seemed to have a chance on her last one. Sweden left a gap, left a port, but Sidorova crashing on the guard leaves a steal of 2. And now you would of course favor Sweden. Great front runners. Not only playing the big upweight shots, peeling guards, but you have a Sofia Malbags here to tick guards when they're in the free guard zone. Still no need to get complacent here.
framför.
Your
Gå,
team
gå, gå,
Sweden.
separation. Gå, 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 gå. Det är bra, Fia.
It's a bit of a
14-0.
half shot from Malbags. Not terrible there. Good thing they didn't overlap. But leaves Russia a little bit of room to work with. Kuzeva asked to put up a second corner guard.
Еще надо немного для параллельного. Чуть-чуть, еще капельку, да.
Ligger vi i bajtar?
Gillar det typ en aktiv 90?
Ja, 95.
Jag gillar det.
Snackade också då.
Ja. Ja.
Lite lösare. Skada inte mycket.
Gärna vänta!
So this is where the 5-rock rule now.
Trycker 4-10.
Sweden would normally want to peel that corner guard off
Med fin fart.
Bak 4
when they're 6-2 up.
Trycker 4. Tappar
Trycker topp
mycket.
10.
Tappar mycket, inte så hård. Tror
But
kan
the
gå.
5-rock 3 guard zone rule, they can't remove
Bra
it.
fart. Jättefin fart.
Perfekt fart, Agan.
Bra, Agan. Ja, bra
So
satt.
they've built a wall at the front of the head.
Даже если он гардом останется, я думаю, это неплохо. 10.
So second
Свип.
players'
10-5.
stats
Свип.
fairly
Да,
similar.
точно туда, точно туда. Свип. Свип. Давай. Ладно, нормально. Пригодится.
Halv!
Ja.
Går du hyfsat rakt eller?
So
Jag
Sweden
tror det.
straight away
Om
move
det
out
kan
to
ju finnas
peel
stöd
off
för
the
det går
corner
rakt
guards.
så, men din
Don't want to
kille
leave
går rakt.
anything for Russia to be able to use.
Rent! Wow! Wow! Nej! Bra, Agnes. Bra så.
Det är bra.
Bra satt, Agnes.
Bra, Aggie. 6-8. Bra.
Bra satt, Agnes. Du spelar ganska lugnt ändå.
A look over USA 7-2 up over Switzerland. Line 4. Yannick Schwaller has got backing to use here.
Japp, 10. Gullet! Ganz sicher. Linie ist okay. Gullet, nicht zu viel. Mal, ist gut. Easy, aber 10.
Sweepers seem quite happy.
Linie kommt kein gut. Ist drauf, könnt ihr näher.
Ah, great shot for one. So after 6 ends, United States still lead 7-3.
Gut. Ja, nervt ihn auch noch gut. Nehmen wir mal ab.
Neither of those teams can progress to tomorrow's final, but they both still want a win here. Points mean prizes. Points for their nation on the rankings board for the World Cup. And also prize money. $1,500 at stake for the winner of the game.
Janet! Wow! Wow!
Nej. Okej. Bra. Fint spel.
Well, peels the yellow. Shuffles things around a little bit. So still something to work with for the Russians.
Сюда ближе не будет просто.
Either go around the corner, freeze the back red.
Слишком далекий
Центральный еще, конечно, там двойной.
Yeah, Russia really need to try and score 2 here.
Там двойной.
Basically need to put their stone between a rock and a hard place.
Давай пока на край. Виз.
туда к нему, чтобы она вместе с ним сняла.
Very
Если
good,
один
Sandra.
останется, нормально. Если он будет сюда
I
подводить, тоже
never enjoy my
неплохо.
puns.
9-9-5. Много?
Seems the freeze in
Я
the,
думаю, нет,
onto the
конец
back
дома
red is the
всё-таки.
call.
You can see both players, third players today, having great games. 90% and 88.
Да, давайте тогда. Пока делаем. Можно вес. Пока много линий. Вали. Во, мы не проходим. Да. Давай.
A little wide here
Свип. Да, Юнь, да.
on the yellow guard. Does actually get the split here. So 2 yellows in the house.
Просто прямая
An
сторона.
okay plan B. Only problem is Sweden will be looking to make a hit and maybe sit 3.
Utifrån! Vi vet
It'll be
att det
hard to
går
get
rakt
that
där.
nibbler
Det känns naturligare där.
into play.
Det borde röra sig fint här dock också.
Bestäm dig vart du har isen, Anna.
Det är lugnt utifrån också.
Anna Hasselberg played the final in the first leg of the Curling World Cup. Lost out to Rachel Homan. So would dearly love to be in tomorrow's final and win that.
Säker. Med halv.
Ren! Japp!
Med halv.
Hårt! Jävlar! Gå! Hårt! Varje centimeter! Gå! Bra.
It's pretty nice there.
Bra, härligt. 9-8.
Hits and rolls just a bit.
Perfekt satt.
Leaves
Härligt,
that
Sara.
in a usable spot for Sweden. Also kind of plugs that hole.
Yeah, that's very usable. If they need to raise it later on in the
По
end,
крайней мере, это плюс 2.
in case Russia got a good one in behind.
Yeah, and you can't really
Да, давай.
draw anywhere except maybe the corner.
Да.
Russia could tap up their yellow to the 4 foot. And then it means Sweden's got a red sitting out there to use.
Свип.
But I think we'll see Russia try and
Свип очень. Свип.
head and roll off this wing.
Да. Воу. Нет.
Pretty
Right
good roll.
across.
Да.
Is it buried?
Tjejer!
Maybe not quite.
90.
That's a really good shot though. Rolling almost across the whole house.
Spelar med lite fart.
Vet inte, jag
Just,
tänker snarare likt din.
Maybe half
Annars är
buried.
ganska, ja exakt, lite läsare kanske. 10-10,5, ja. Så eller?
I guess they felt like they needed to open up that
Okej,
side a bit.
köpa liksom.
But 4 down, 7th end. I don't know. I kind of liked your call there. Maybe play the
Tror
tap.
jag gillar det
Det
där.
här mot 10 halvarna.
Ja, jag tror det också.
10 halv.
Ja.
You definitely don't like to be hitting when you're 4 down with less than 2 ends to go.
Sara, din var 9-8!
Jag gillar ändå 10 halv på det
Ja,
här.
jag med!
Det kickar nästan som en 9-2 på lättis.
Ja.
En.
Wow. 10.
Nej! Eka vi på egen.
Han är väldigt hård.
A little heavy here by Anna Hasselborg. They're not going to curl enough onto their own.
9-2.
And spills that all the way out actually. And look at the turnaround now.
Fan, den där är med.
Instead of Sweden setting 3, now Russia with a chance to hit and lie 3.
Såg att de flyttade den lite utanför.
Huge mistake. Wow.
Maybe just even trying to be too cute there. They could just have split that out and lay 2.
Yeah, I think just so confident in making the shot that maybe not even looking at what the tolerance was. To be fair, that was a pretty big miss. And rarely you'll see Hasselborg miss by that much.
There's a lot of rotation on her delivery and it would run straighter with that.
Yeah, 2 more weight than they agreed on as well. Need to take advantage here. Need to keep the shooter in the house here, Sidorova, but she's gonna over curl. or sicked on the back ring. Yes, she will, just enough. Whoa. And a sigh of relief from the skipper. That was dangerously close to rolling out of the house. And where she's left it, no automatic double. So I think they got away with that one. Wow. Score of 3 on the cards.
Yeah, Sweden are fortunate they've got the cushion of being 4 up here. If they do lose a 3, they're still 1 up with the hammer coming home.
I'm going to play the same shot again. Less weight. Important not to make an overcorrection here now and throw it softer, maybe less rotation, less weight. All of a sudden you catch them curl, you're on the guard. But seems to be a pretty firm throw again. A little tight on line, maybe, because it's a big sweep. Knockenhauer, Mawbags, trying to hold this past the guard. Is it past the guard? No, it's on the guard. Wow.
Well,
what a
game can turn around.
Shocking turnaround in this game. 2 really big mistakes by Hasselborg. It looked okay through that with quite a lot of rotation, but just perhaps a little inside the broom, a little softer than the previous one. And like I mentioned, maybe just caught a little more curl because of it. Couldn't hold it for their skipper.
She is frustrated. They could even have hit the open back one there.
Or the front one.
Or the front one.
And give up 3, be 1 up with hammer now. Open draw anywhere to the house, score 4, tie the game. Can't believe it.
Well, Femina was playing her last stone and we were saying, wow, you're having to hit when you're 4 down in the game. And all of a sudden, drawing for 4.
Well, and because they hit, they brought that nibbler into play. Who would have thought? The draw just good enough. Top 12, 4 points. Don't go anywhere. Lots of life still in this one as the home crowd a little bit silent now. It is tied at 6, 1 end left here in Jonkoping.
Det kommer ju vara lite grötigare.
Jag tänkte på det. Я думаю, надо заставить ее вести. Она это будет меньше быть.
Конечно, да, надо завязаться. Привести нормально и закрывать.
Она будет точно разводить все.
Есть.
Да. Нет, Юль, нет.
4-й есть.
Стой. Нет.
Отлично.
Молодец.
Welcome back to Jonkoping Curling Hall, an arena for sport, an arena for drama, as Russia has just pulled back on Sweden, scoring 4 in the 7th end. 2 big mistakes by Hasselborg. How important is it for her team now to bounce back and keep plugging away, making shots?
Yeah, they just need to refocus. You know, forget that end. They can't do anything about that. You've got to control the controllables, which is what you're going to do now. That's happened, bin it, forget it. The scoreboard it's peels with a hammer. So that's what you have to focus on.
Well, if they could go tied with hammer, if they were offered that before the game, they'd probably take it. And now, again.
The key is that Anna herself will be very annoyed at her 2 stones in that last end. So she's got this end to bin it until she comes to play. So she just needs to refocus, call the game well, and no, she's got the ability to make that last stone.
Well, she couldn't have asked for a better start. Sophia Malbag's making the tick perfectly. And they're not going for the tick on the second one here.
No, it's a lot higher, the guard, so they're going to bring this one in to top 4.
Just take control of that forefoot.
Okej, 14,88. Gå. Börja få in nu. Gå. Fullvit. Lite det.
Not fully buried, but it's going to sit in a nice spot for Sweden to use.
And there we see a final score. USA winners over Switzerland, 10-3.
You want us to bring these stones down? No? Leo? Okay.
Yannick Schwaller was looking like he may qualify out that section for a while, so he'll be disappointed with that loss in the last round robin game. But it's a great win for the young US side. Portanova just trying to come around and half check the red. Just drops off it. Sweden will ignore it and go for the appeal. Russia could have put out another guard there. Make it difficult for Sweden to remove 2 guards.
Rent bara.
So now the centre is going to be wide open.
Jag fattar inte vad som händer.
Sweden do lie shot in the house, so Russia are going to have to make a play on that. They can't just guard till the end of the end. They'll guard for a few stones and then make a play.
Юля! Юля! Повыше, просто Юля! Шестой! 5! Просто Юля, нет, не страшно, пусть переваливает. 5! Да, слип. Да. Молодец.
Samma fina.
So Agnes knocking her. Second peel. Takes a guard, but also takes her own out the house.
Det var lite tajt, men jag tror de satte... Jag tror de skulle slira lite till. Det är bra, Gan.
So we jump over to sheet D, last stone in the game between Canada and Scotland. Canada 4-3 up. Last stone of the game, Scotland are line 2. Matt Dunstone. The winner of this game will go to tomorrow's final and meet Nicholas Edin from Sweden.
Fine, got it running. Clean.
So it has to be fully in the 8-foot here.
Line's good. Clean. Okay.
Sweepers seem quite
Coming
happy.
into the middle. Running like it's... Okay, just heavy, clean.
Keep Sweepers nursing that one in.
Down all the way.
And it's looking good. And it's a win for Canada. Matt Dunstone and his Canadian side will face Nicholas Edin's Swedish side in tomorrow's final.
And a great peel by Sara McManus opens it up for Sweden in our future game against Russia. And those kind of shots will surely
calm
and relax Anna Hasselborg.
5,5-6 надо. 4,5-5!
It could be more exciting out here tonight. The last round robin games. Keeping the crowd well entertained. A lot of good curling.
Класс. Пока не хотела сюда. Своим?
So a single peel now for Sarah McManus. Keep it open.
Bra Sara. Sara?
Är det okej att valla?
Ja, precis. Kan man få en sån per match där man får valla lite?
Härligt, det vill säga så här.
Примерно одинаково. Только там дальше удар, да. Ой.
Nice.
Ну да, сюда, наверное.
Окей. Ну, давай сюда.
Дай поменьше.
Den där cornern borde väl alltid vara, alltså, eller den där cornern inte väger för innandragningen va?
Nej, gud nej. Den är precis.
Ваши вес! Три! Ну и садиться! Линии пока много! Вес! Только вес! Вес! Три!
So Anna Sidorova choosing to come around this corner guard. Their first stone. Just trying to get cover somewhere. She saw the mistake from Anna Hasselberg at the last end. The stone was half buried.
Gillar ni den?
Den kommer ner!
Ja. Tyckte inte hon kände sig helt säker på den där linjen. Jag tror jag gillar den. Det
Jag
är
tror också
det
det.
eller...
För att om vi säger att jag skulle curla över,
Sweepers
då
coming
ändå vill han
down
ju dra
for a
så.
team chat.
Och då får vi ändå denna innan den och
Gillar vi
drar så här.
Det är den eller att pila.
Alltså frystäpen.
Ja, fristäpa.
Freeze-tappen.
Drygt halva.
Så jag kan gilla den för då får vi få in dragfarten också.
Ja,
Men jag tror också det.
att det kan vara
Alltså
ganska
för tjej pila över den så får vi ju, då garanterar vi oss att dra där.
Ja.
Ja.
Men samtidigt
men
missar
även
jag
där
pilen så...
Vi får ju ändå åt foten om vi gör
Ja,
den här.
exakt. Jag tror jag gillar den.
Och
Still
vi
have
tvingar den
over
att
2
sätta den.
minutes, so
Det är det jag
plenty
gillar med.
time.
Hade ni någon hogg på den här?
Ja, 14-0.
14-0.
Ja, så
jag
samma
tycker
fart
Det är
då.
samma som här.
Får du sätta den också? Jag gillar det.
De hade ju så här.
Ja.
Hon gav den ganska kraftigt liksom,
Ja,
som hon
hon
brukar.
var rätt tight så långt på den.
Den blev 14-0.
Den kom ner mycket i slutet tyckte jag.
Ja.
Tyckte den såg som
Ja,
att den
ser
skulle
ut som
komma
den
ner
skulle-
bakom 10.
Ja, jag håller med.
Hennes är bra. De lever väldigt bra men man ser att det är lite sådär.
Ja.
De har lite spann.
Samma fart som det har varit på dragningen mot mitten då.
Ja. Bara frysa lite in sådär eller?
Ja, men dutta lite också. Det är ju bra. Så länge vi har linjen.
Ja, precis.
Med den lite.
Bra linje!
Bra fart. Wow.
Bara
Wow,
fart!
vänta.
En sten!
Curlar ingen!
Nej. Lite dörr.
So they need this to curl. Anna Hasselberg looking just to...
Lite längre.
Jag har ingen träff ännu.
Det är fin fart.
This is not going to
Ska vi ta förbi
curl. She was looking just to come up and tap and no more, but
Bra fart.
that ran very straight at the end.
Det är bra.
13-7. Bra spel.
Fin fart.
Hoping to set shot stone there.
Det var någon som vi tänkte att hon var nog rejält tajt.
Jag tyckte den levde bra. Jag tyckte inte hon... Så jag var rädd att hon skulle sitta lite.
Ja, jag vill också vara med.
So that not helping Sweden much.
The only benefit for Sweden is the centre of the house is open.
Well, that's a huge benefit. Now
Она в упор здесь повезет потом.
Russia,
Det är väldigt bra. Det var...
Что предлагаешь?
two
Ты с
options
этой стороны.
for me. Either put it top
Ну,
of the
по
8 foot,
центру тоже нормально.
so Sweden can't make the nose hit and get shot stone, and now count the yellow on the wing. Or if you think
Jag slog ju där.
full forfeit and more is a bit too much room for Hasselborg to make the draw, you could maybe just put it on the the edge of the forefoot, have her think about hitting or drawing. But top 8 is the call. And this is always a bit tricky for the sweepers because they want to bring it as close to that forefoot as possible, but not oversweep it and leave that nose hit.
Yeah, you want to lie too.
That too. And it just pulled up a bit short, so
they don't lie too. It does block the draw.
So you can see the sweepers were just very careful, didn't want to oversweep that one and leave the nose hit. But shot stone, half tuck around the corner, same hand, same side, more or less as in the previous end where Alsborg missed 2. I don't think she'll want to come after it for the win. It will be the draw, and this is the path they've been playing all game. And it's pretty straight coming down here as well, so that Yellowstone top 12 shouldn't really be that much in play. But we can think back to, well, the final of the European Championship last season, was it? Where she's going to draw for the win, hung on the corner, ticked it, and lost the final. But that was on the out turn. This is the in.
Yep, Skip's dream, as long as the forefoot's open, she only even needs to be fully 8 foot. Doesn't need to be in 4 foot.
Just give it to your sweepers here. You have 2 really good ones in Knockenhauer and Maulbags, but they're really working it. They're really working it. Needing to drag this far enough, need the 8 foot. Come on, girls, gotta go, gotta go. Looking good, and the crowd's already cheering. This one's on the 4 foot. Sweden in the final. 7-6 win. Well, they made it interesting, a little more drama than they had to show the crowd tonight. But in the end, they pull it off. 3 points, a little extra cash in hand, and a chance to get even more when they play Korea tomorrow.
Showing their appreciation to the fans.
Ja, nu shootat de...
Spelordning har ni själva som ni gör.
Ja.
So Sweden will have to all draw the shot. All 4 players will draw 1 stone. The cumulative score. They finish on 15 points, and so did Korea. So this is just to determine who will have the hammer in tomorrow's final.
Nej, alltså jag hookar min sista.
Ja, absolut. Ta lite mindre. Nej, men absolut. Att de hookar absolut. Ja. Jag bara, nej men nu lär vi gå. Eller käppar vi fronten.
So Sweden have qualified to face Korea in the final tomorrow. Sweden have finished the competition with 15 points, and so have Korea. So last stone cannot be determined for the final with the team with most points. So there will be a team shootout, and it will be a cumulative score. And the team with the lowest score will get Hammer in tomorrow's final.
Okej, lägg den på T-line. Vi har
So
ingen
Korea,
linje.
they drew the shot
Kolla upp, se långt för mig. 13,87.
after their last round robin
13,87,
game earlier today, in case it would be needed.
Nu kommer den in mycket. Bra Fia.
So a really good attempt from Sofia Marbergs.
Sara.
Det är du ja. Vill du ha samma is eller?
Slightly high of line, but great weight.
Hon driftar ju lite och så sätter hon ändå ner den.
Jag gillar drilllinjen.
Ja, lite hett spår ändå.
Ja, men den här kommer inte upp.
Du var lite hett spår.
Den här backar typ.
Ja, alltså det gled riktigt bra.
Ja, jag tror mindre alltså. Den gick ju nästan utåt alltså.
Ja, vi bara inte ska övergöra det liksom.
Alltså det är helt lugnt.
Ja. Nu har du.
Ja.
Jag satt mig lite utåt, Anna.
Ja, jag tyckte du hade lite kraft och så spelar du ändå igenom den.
Har ni samma is på dig eller? Ja, någon mindre. Så jag tänkte om du kollar lite mer.
Can be a bit off-putting. All the crowd were getting up to leave after the game had finished, and now they realise Sweden are still
Oj, nu fick du förresten.
playing a draw shot. So all standing at the side of the barrier.
Den där var ju 13,87. Men det stämmer väl rätt bra med sista scenens svart också.
Ja, precis. 14,6 för din tror jag sista.
Yes. Lägg den på locket där.
Ja.
Bra linje.
So Anna Hasselberg
Ni håller den bra. Perfekt
just played
linje.
the same draw
Perfekt
to
linje.
win the game.
Gå då.
Needs to do it again.
Sara, hjälp! Gå! Gå Sara, hjälp! Gå! Gå!
All coming to sweep this.
Gå!
It's coming up
Varje
short.
centimeter, Agnes. Häng upp den. Ah, sorry. Bra sopat.
So there you can see the umpires using the
Det är
tape
lugnt.
measure to
Korea
measure
också
the
196.
distance
Nu får ni bara inte göra
from
det.
centre of the house to the stone.
Korea är också en 196, så länge vi slår dem.
Jag bara, för fan, då hade jag velat vila. Fy fan, jag bara, nej men då tar man en till på rad. Jag bara, då hade jag velat vila.
Jag hoppas att vi inte börjar sopa max här.
Agnes bara, jag kör en till. Det känns ju jättelite.
So
Tror du det här är bra?
they have put up on the scoreboard
när vi spelar in handen och då
what
kommer
Korea
det vara
threw
hit.
Alltså jag ska ju...
with their 4 draws
När de
earlier
drog
on.
nu så hade de här. Det är bra Sara. Tänk på vad vi hade när vi
worst
spelade 12an.
Draw for the team is eliminated, and it's the best 3 draws that are totaled.
Fart i kroppen. Ja. Så är mot 90.
So basically Sweden need to draw the pin with these next 2 draws.
Ha plats.
Vart är vi? Snacka tjejer!
Bra linje.
Snacka! Går upp!
Oh, känns här för mig.
Perfekt linje!
Känns verkligen här för mig.
Perfekt linje!
Nej. 13,4.
And this one's going to slip back.
Det är bra Sara.
Bra Sara.
13-1.
Se vad vi behöver då.
Det är bra.
Nej, jag ska inte säga.
Tycker ändå så att mycket är så järn.
Okej, så 3 out of 4 is...
So Korea's third player, that was their elimination one. They threw
Vad hade ni?
156.4, so that was eliminated, where Sarah McManus has just thrown
Ändå
51.9.
Jag var ju ändå rätt aktiv på den här. Så att man
Det
ändå
kändes
råd att...
mycket fart liksom.
So it's all down to this final draw shot
En
to determine
försvinner,
who will
så...
have the hammer.
Gör den här bra.
Lite vidare linje. Bra linje.
Det läser ut.
Bra linje. Rör sig mer. Perfekt linje.
Lägg den där.
Går ganska rakt ändå. Sara, kolla upp. Sara. Gå. 14,4.
Gå.
Working this one really hard, need to cover the pin,
Gå. Ja, 10.
and it comes up short.
Bra, Agnes.
So the umpires will add up the scores, eliminate the worst throw for both sides.
Jag tyckte det kändes bra.
Jag gick inte fullt, men jag ville. Ja. Ja. Surprise.
And Sweden finish on 57.1 centimeters cumulative. So a look at the fifth end. Anna Hasselberg goes for a big weight, thin double for two. Executes to perfection. Score of two and a lead in the game. Sixth end. Anna Sidorova going for the double. On the high side, catches the guard, and it's a steal of two for Sweden. Seventh end, and after two errors from Sweden, Anna Sidorova left with a draw for four to tie the score. Makes it perfectly.
Sen över hammaren och så är det lika. Det är bra.
Eighth end, Russia lying one. Anna Hasselberg has to fully draw the 8 foot for the win. Sweeper swept it the whole way, and she makes it perfectly. It's a win for Sweden and a spot in tomorrow's final. Very happy Swedish side, acknowledging the crowd. As we look at the other games tonight, that was the only ladies game on. In the men, China beat Norway 7-5, United States beat Switzerland 10-3, Sweden beat Japan 7-2, and Canada beat Scotland 5-3. And there's the standings on the women's side. Sweden qualify top of Group A, and Korea qualify top of Group B. And they will meet in tomorrow's final. So tomorrow, 10 points on offer for the winner of the final, 5 for runner-up. And here's a look at the different legs of the Curling World Cup. First leg, Canada won all 3 disciplines. The second leg, United States won the men. Women was won by Japan, and Norway won the mixed doubles. So they have all qualified for the grand final in Beijing. Tomorrow, Sweden versus Canada in the men's final. Women's final, Sweden versus Korea. And in the mixed doubles, Canada versus Norway. The winner of these finals tomorrow will go to Beijing to the grand final. And now let's hear from Anna Hasselberg.
In control there, but give up a 4 in the 7th. Take us through your last 2 shots.
I think it was a momentarily stroke, actually. The first one I overplayed, and the other one I compensated really bad. So I'm just happy my team stuck with me and had the confidence that I would do my last shot in the 8th, because that was probably the 2 worst shots I played this season.
So you said your goal was to play on Sunday, and now you're in the final. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. Actually, we wanted to have a tight game here to come prepared into the final, and maybe we got that in a way we didn't want to, but we're really happy, and I'm really happy of how the team played today, so it feels good.
A lot of home support here this evening, hoping for more of the same tomorrow?
Yeah, it was amazing. They really gave us energy today, so that was really nice.
Well, thank you, and grattis.
Tack så mycket.
One happy Anna Hasselborg there, and she'll be playing the final tomorrow for the big bucks, and Curling World Cup title. Stay tuned for more curling, all the action, all the finals tomorrow, Sunday, here in Jonkoping.